One of the questions we always get asked, no matter where we're at, is how can you afford to travel full time after retirement?
And honestly, it was a question that we asked ourselves before we were able to retire as well.
Yeah, just living this lifestyle, full time travel, isn't always what everybody always imagined it to be.
And today we're going to look at some of the things that we did to get us ready for early retirement.
Yeah, and coming up later on, probably in the next video, if you'll stick around with this, because we're going to ask for some input, we're going to actually interview our financial advisor that we have here in the United States.
Welcome to Retire to Roam. I'm LJ.
I'm Russell. We're retired, traveling full time.
On a budget and loving every minute of it. When we decided to retire, we had to ask ourselves, what did we want our retirement to look like? Because our retirement looks different than other people that we know.
Yeah. And, we could have done the traditional retirement. We could have bought a summer home on a lake somewhere, or me, I would have preferred to have bought like a big tract of land to hunt on or something like that. But anyway, our retirement is not going to look exactly like your retirement, but hey, we're just going to fill in and tell you kind of what we done and our story.
For a long time, thought that we would buy an RV and travel the country 6 months out of the year and be home 6 months out of the year. But if you know anything about Retire to Roam, you know that didn't happen.
Yeah, this doesn't mean that we're on vacation every day.
Far from it.
Yeah. So one thing that may happen every 3 weeks or to a month, we might have a different backyard, but we're just living life. It's not that we're just settling around in one spot.
We still grocery shop. We still cook meals sometimes.
Yeah.
We still do laundry.
Oh yeah.
We still have to clean bathrooms. So it's not life of luxury for us. I mean, I guess there are people in retirement that live that lifestyle.
Yeah, they live at these resorts or 5-star hotels, but we're not. We're on, like I said, we live on a budget of so much per year, and we just try to stay under that. If that means spending a little bit more in one certain area where we want to go stay and see it, and then to make up to stay under that budget that we have for a year, which is $48,000 a year, we may have to go somewhere a whole lot cheaper and stay for a couple of 3 months.
And we decided it was worth that trade-off for us, not having maybe this luxury lifestyle, because we weren't used to that. So being able to retire early and get out there and travel and enjoy it while we're still physically able to was worth it for us to do a trade-off and live on a budget.
Yeah, and we're enjoying, the slow travel aspect of it. And like I said, we're not, we do some fast travel, but more likely we go somewhere and we'll stay for 3 weeks to a month at a time and try to save, on accommodations that way. And we stay with family and visit, stuff like that. So it's not like, we're tied down to one area. When we started this thing out, we just had to, we done a bunch of budget videos. We still do a monthly budget video, but we just try to find out what our number is. And like I said, what works for us may not work for you, but you just have to make the budget and see what you've got and able to spend and make that work.
And to be completely honest, even though we've been doing this for a while now, going on almost 2 years, we still have questions. We still wonder, are we doing the right thing? Are we doing the right strategy?
Yeah, I mean, if are we going to run out of money? I mean, that's the biggest thing, and then we kind of got to, watch the markets and stuff like that. But we don't stress on it. We don't worry on it because, like I said, we did meet with our financial advisor, and he gave us kind of a go-ahead. But, we had the plan, and then he kind of agreed with it. And then we may have to fluctuate a little bit here and there, but so far it's working, but is it going to work long term? I don't know what that strategy looks like.
Yeah, and if you're new to our channel, we will say that Russell draws a small pension, and he brings home around $1,500, a little less than $1,500 a month.
After insurance. And
yeah,
all that.
After insurance. And then I just started a pension. Woo, big pension. This is just for my 7 years that I did with the state. It's like less than $200 a month, but
it
they wanted
phone bill.
It does, and they wanted to know if I wanted to wait until I was 65 because it would be a little bit more, and I told them you know, I didn't even know if I'd be alive when I'm 65. So
And
no,
I think
I
the
wanted my
difference
money.
between now and 65 wasn't that astronomical
Yeah.
that it was.
I mean, we're
Oh,
talking
yeah.
$200, folks,
Yeah.
less. So maybe it would have made $5 difference. I don't
yeah,
know.
I
But
don't know.
anyways, like Russell said, it's going to pay our cell phone bill every month and maybe take
Prescription or
us out to
something like
dinner.
that.
Yeah. So we started that this month actually.
Yeah.
So here's some of the questions that we're going to probably get with our financial advisor on in our upcoming video. But again, Russell mentioned it at the very first of the video. If you have any questions that you want us to ask our financial advisor, be sure and leave those in the comments and we'll try and ask him those when we go and visit him, if you get them to us quickly enough. So,
Yeah.
and it could be a reoccurring thing,
It
maybe,
could
if
be,
he'll
yeah.
do it.
Well,
I
what
don't know.
I was gonna go back and do the caveat. We do have a small pension, but if you've watched our video, we sold everything, and you know we got a lot of the stuff tied up in investments that we can't draw on until I'm 59 and a half. Same with her. But we did sell our home, and then we're kind of supplementing the pension with some of that to afford this lifestyle.
Yeah, absolutely. We would not be able
Yeah.
to do this if we had not sold our home. We
No.
sold our home, everything, cars, everything. So we just travel with a backpack and a small carry-on. So that's it.
Mhm.
Okay, some of the questions that I think we'll probably ask him would be, you know, are we actually sustainable for the next 20 years into retirement? I just turned 55. You turned 50. Well,
I'll be
you'll be
59 here in a couple
59.
more months.
59.
Mm.
I can't believe that. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I feel it too.
So we've got till 62 because we both decided we're going to do retirement at 62. So we've got to have enough money to get us to 62. And that's our big question with our financial advisor. And if we stay on budget, we will have that amount. So another question is, how much cash should someone keep available while you're traveling? Not meaning like in your pocket cash, but
something that you can get to liquid assets,
yeah.
I guess is what they would call that
Yeah.
nowadays, or whatever.
Yeah,
Something that you can get your hands on without being penalized by the government.
Right. And I would say it's almost like an emergency fund. You know, we don't have to worry about our hot water heater going out, but we do have to be concerned about, God forbid, someone gets sick back home and we have to take an emergency flight, or one of us gets sick and we have to do some type of emergency thing. That's going to cost money. So we need to have the money available, cash available, that we can get to that and do.
And like I said, worst case scenario, before 62, I'm fixing to be 59 and a half. I could actually draw out of some of our investments if I have to. The plan we got now is not to touch that, so we're just shooting for Social Security.
Yeah. One other question, I think you also touched on this. If markets become volatile, should retirees change their travel plans or stay the course? And in the 2 years that we have been traveling, we've been very transparent. Last year, our investments made more than what we spent. We spent $37,000 last year. Now that doesn't include insurance, because we don't put that in our monthly budget, because that comes off the top before we get our pension or his pension. So we spent a little under $37,000, and our investments made more than that last year. Now, will they do that this year? We don't know.
It'd be nice.
Yeah.
Just reiterating what we said earlier, we do a monthly video vlog here on our channel. At the end of each month, it usually comes out the first of the following month, but we go over where we were at, what we spent for that month. I mean, the nuts and bolts of everything, what we spent, down to if we buy a piece of gum or whatever.
One other question I think a lot of people ask, is a financial advisor necessary? And we say probably not necessary, but very wise to have one.
Yeah.
You know, Russell and I both feel like we know a lot about investments and did before we retired, but
it's nice to come together with that plan and say, I think this is going to work, but put it against somebody that's actually doing it every day, and he does that for a living, or she does that for a living, and the back and forth. But make sure you get one that's going to be a teacher, not one that says, just give me your money and let me just do it. You want somebody that's going to teach you. And I think we've got a good interview coming up with a guy that does ours. So like I said, if you hadn't already, like and subscribe to the channel. and that way hit the bell notification. So when we do this interview with him, you'll know when it comes out and you can follow along.
So in wrapping up, we look forward to reading your questions, and we will definitely be asking those of our advisor if you get them in time. If not, maybe we'll get him back on the channel again. I don't know. We'll see what he's willing to do
Maybe this
for us.
might be a recurring thing. You know, he might steal the show, and we just might have to do some more live
Maybe.
feeds or whatever with him on there.
Yeah. So in closing, we just always want to say thank you so much for joining us as always. Have a blessed day and safe travels.